Hey guys, looks like it's beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today.
Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Today, I certainly do appreciate you stopping by. Today's beer comes from 3 Notch Brewing. These guys, they're up in Charlottesville, Virginia, just up the road ways. I've been buying some of their beers for go-to beers. Had a real good friend of mine that I used to work with, Mr. Fred Moore, messaged me the other day. And he said he had this beer and wanted to know if I had it yet or reviewed it. And I said, no, I have not. So I started calling around trying to check to see if I could get my hands on it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I told him, I said, I can't find it. He said, well, the 4-pack he picked up was the last one at the Kroger store across town that carries a lot more craft beers than the one down the street here. And so I had called them, and they said, no, we've sold out of it. So I called around, couldn't find it. I said, I can't find it. So he showed up unannounced and brought me one. So Fred, thanks again. I do appreciate it. I couldn't get one, so he was nice enough to bring me one of his. And so we're pleased to do that. And Fred, thanks again. I do appreciate it, sir. Enjoy your retirement, my friend. I'm hoping to do that next year. I'm hoping to retire and enjoy a little bit of life. If I live that long, I'm trying. With that diet and everything, I'm trying. I'm suffering through this horrible diet that I'm doing. But enough of that. Enough about me. Let's get on with this one. This is an 8%er. Beer Advocate has it listed as an 8.4, but they have a different label. So evidently they've done this beer before, guys. Because the label on this bottle is different than what Beer Advocate is showing. This one is an 8%er. Over to Untapped, they have it listed as 8% and 40 IBUs. So, and their commercial description says, Biggie is made with crushed graham crackers, chocolate malts, all mixed up in a delicious Imperial milk stout. How you living, Biggie s'mores, and chocolate and bins giving booze to my friends, and it feels stupendous Imperial stout. A chocolate lover's dream, what still Toda, Coca, and marshmallow, creamy, chomping honey maids. Wow, what a jumbled up bunch of freaking words that was. About 80 boxes of those making great beer is all we knows. So, I don't know who writes this stuff for these people, but some of it, whatever. So, we've got the ABV at 8%, we've got the IBUs at 40. I don't think they date their stuff. I don't see anything on the label. There may be something written on the bottle. So we'll take a closer look when I come. No, I'm sorry. Right above the 40 IBUs. So it's telling us it's 8% here. It's 40 IBUs here. And right above the 40 IBUs it says 5/6 of 19. So this was done a couple of months ago. About 8-9 weeks ago. But it's a stout. It's an Imperial Stout. So it should keep for a little while. It doesn't say anything about chocolate being added to it, but they use chocolate malt, which will give us that taste of chocolate. And they did use crushed graham crackers, so should get some cinnamon and graham cracker, hopefully some vanilla chocolate notes in there. So let's find out. Nice hit, a little bit of smoke. Into the glass we go. Pouring this right down the center, guys. And we got right at a finger of head on that pour. It is pitch black. I'm not giving any light at all to it. Looks very reminiscent of what a stout usually looks like, guys. Very nice looking beer. To the nose we go. Definitely getting the roasted malt. I'm getting graham crackers. Getting cinnamon. Slight hint of some vanilla and chocolate. It smells like a s'mores. I mean, it does. Very pleasant aroma. There may be even some caramel and toffee in there, some molasses. But the graham crackers are standing out. And maybe a slight hint of some chocolate and vanilla. It does have a very nice sweetness. It's only 40 IBUs. Smells very pleasant. Nice dessert beer. And it's not a huge beer. It's only 8%. It's not like you're drinking a 10, 12, 15%er where you're going to be inebriated at the end of the bottle. Smells very good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Fred. Thank you, sir. Very pleasant. Definitely getting the graham crackers, a little bit of cinnamon, chocolate, and vanilla. Very tasty. Nice and sweet. Alcohol's well hidden. A little on the thin side, but it's not a huge beer. It's only 8%. Very tasty. A very tasty final beer of the evening, which it is for me. So let me sip on this one. It's right out of the fridge, and see if anything comes out a little more prominent, and we'll come back and do the final grade and chug on this one. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on it probably 45 minutes to an hour. Nice tasty beer. Especially since this brewery is just a couple hours up the road. That's why I buy their beers here, guys. I told you I would look and see if we had any kind of dating on this. I'm not seeing anything on this one. They usually do date their stuff. Yep, I did. I forgot I told you. 5/6 of 19. It's right above the 40 IBUs, like I said earlier. Short-term memory loss. CRS, can't remember shit. Fred, thanks again for sending it, bringing it by. And couldn't find a beer. I mean, I called around and everybody already sold out about all of it. It's a seasonal beer, and I like these stouts year long. I like to have them for the final beer of the evening. A nice dark, rich stout, and this is very tasty. The graham cracker is there, cinnamon is there, hints of vanilla and chocolate. Caramel, toffee, a little on the thin side for an 8%er. It's not a huge beer, but very tasty beer. I would buy this beer, guys. I mean, it's into the ABV range at 8% that I like. And from what I've seen and read, they do a barrel-aged version of this, and I've not seen that one either. So hopefully, as it gets into the cooler months, they'll reproduce that beer. Hopefully, we'll see. And if I can get my hands on it, I'll review that one, guys. So I have been buying some of their beers as go-to beers because I find them very tasty. They are doing a very well-done beer. So we'll leave it at that. Their Big Slice is pretty tasty, and some of the other IPAs and double IPAs I find very tasty. They're doing a New England style very well. Not to the category of Trillium or Treehouse or any of those guys are, but pretty tasty. I've enjoyed them, and I continue to buy them because they date their stuff. We got the IBUs and the ABV on there and the date. All three things that we want to see before we purchase a beer, not knowing what the vintage is or the date or how old the beer is. These guys are doing it well. So other than being a little on the thin side, but it's only an 8%, not a 10, 12, 15%er. And it is exactly what it says it is. It is a s'mores tasting, smelling beer. Very nice. Final joke. That's definitely room temperature. Maybe a little more than room temperature. Then maybe since I've been sipping on it for so long, it may be even into the 80-degree range because it's 90 some outside, and I went outside to sip on this one for a while. Very impressive beer, guys. It's not a 10 beer to me, but it is an A beer. I'm going to give it A minus. 93 is what I'm going to give this beer. Very tasty. They're giving us all the information though, guys. ABV, IBUs, and bottle on date. So they're doing all the right things as far as I'm concerned. So I would love to get my hands on one of the barrel aged versions of this. I bet it's very, very tasty. Over to Beer Advocate, they say 4.08 in their sectional range. I'd agree. Very tasty, guys. I enjoyed it. Thanks, Fred. And over to Untapped, they have it at 4.02. Again, good numbers from those guys. So it's pretty much unanimous. It's an A minus beer. Definitely worth picking up if you can get your hands on it. I don't know what the distribution is for these guys. It's probably going to get bigger and bigger as they grow and produce their beers, especially when they're producing pretty tasty beers. I've been buying some of theirs, and y'all been seeing them in the fridge when I do the intro, the 3-notch brewing beers. We're impressed. They doing some good stuff. Not world class yet to me, but that could change any day with something that I pick up. So, Fred, once again, my brother, I do appreciate it, sir, that you donating one of your beers that you purchased and bringing it to me since I couldn't get my hands on one of these. It came and went very quickly, evidently. I don't know how long it hung around, but when you told me about it, I couldn't find it. Called around to 3 or 4 different stores, could not find it. So, appreciate you bringing me one of yours. So with that being said, guys, if you've had the 3-notch Brewing Biggie s'mores, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.